as his mid-range was blocked.
This one, no.
Don't want the wrath of JD. Noah Vonleh in for the Nuggets, and again, they're probably at their limit. They're going to go 8 deep. Now Bol, they left them wide open. Left wing 3, rinsed it. It's Washington, but again, they've got no guards out there on the floor. Each one, the floater, that's blocked by Bol Bol.
Come on, a whole lot.
Jokic was mid-range and got it out to Bol Bol, who's back in there. Boy, he took steps, no call. Got it to Cook, who laid it in with a left hand. 61-46 New Orleans. Bol Bol, right elbow. Now right in the lane, Jokic spin move on Kenrich, and a two-handed layup from the right side is in. 63-50. As Etwan now 6 points. Bol Bol drives center of the lane, floats one up and rattles in. It's like he's shooting a Nerf ball in his bedroom.
That's missed.
And Nikola tried a back pass, and he bounced it right to Plumlee, back the other way. Bol Bol going to get an easy layup.
They're scrapping.
Yep.
They're getting after every loose ball.
Jokic, behind the head.
Boost. The audio's off?
On.
The audio's on.
What? The audio on our microphones is on?
Yes.
Yeah, right now we'll record. They can hear me.
The audio in the show.
They can hear me
is
right
on.
now.
Yes.
Okay. Oh God. Okay. Well. Woo. We'll do it live.
do it live,
We'll
then.
do it
Subject
live.
from what we were just talking about.
What is up, everybody, and welcome into a Winner's Lounge. Why not?
Yeah, let's go.
Lightning. It is a
Lightning's in Utah.
lightning. So I guess thunder is what you hear.
Yeah.
Lightning.
You see. It's all right.
What's up, everybody? We got a fun show for you planned today. I'm Adam Matas. I'm joined by my esteemed colleagues live and in the flesh because we are recording these preview series. Hopefully, you guys tuned in this morning at 8 a.m. I'm informed that was too early.
That was too early. Yeah, I was like, oh, cool, we're debuting it. And then I was like, what the H, man?
What is this, high school?
Tomorrow's episode will come out at 10. We also have Marcus Howard right after this show. That one will go live, so you can keep it locked right to the DNVR YouTube channel. Hopefully you're there. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I got to my left Brendan Vogt, all black today.
Yeah, black is slimming, they tell me. I saw Harrison went and grab a beer, so I took one, but he doesn't have one now.
Well, I was grabbing a Christmas ale, and we work in a bar, but I could not find a bottle opener.
That means you didn't look very hard, I think, because there's definitely a
I
bar.
looked in this general vicinity.
Okay,
There
all right.
was no bottle opener to be found.
Well, if you would have paid attention, he picked it up. He was like, what sorry sucker would drink you before the hour of 3 o'clock and put it right back in?
Okay.
Also wearing an abnormal amount of black. It's D-Line Co.
I would say this is an incredibly normal amount of
It
black.
is pretty normal.
Feeling great, guys.
Hey, I'm in black too.
I drank as I reported on Twitter earlier, drank a big glass of Strava Craft coffee and was, in fact, honking
Like a
goose.
goose.
Honking just like a goose.
He might be still honking.
Possibly still
A
honking.
little bit of buzz, a little CBD buzz.
And then, of course, over there, the handsome one, the Peloton Prince, the man with the wind in his hair. It's
I
Harrison.
thought I was already introduced when I went on my my scavenger hunt for the
He
bottle
just wanted to
opener.
call you handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
Sorry
something
to
with
get
it.
it in.
So today's show, guys, we're going to talk about Bol Bol, who put the league on blast today.
Whoa.
Okay, maybe not. We're going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about his odds of winning Rookie of the Year, which I imagine are pretty low, but we know it. Let's have a little fun. It's a Tuesday. Is it Wednesday?
Good question.
It's Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. It is a
Who
Wednesday.
amongst us is not honking? like a goose or otherwise.
Are you okay?
We've been in the studio a lot today, guys, so we're all a little,
slapping.
we're a little
Little
loopy.
cabin
We're a
fever.
little-
Can't tell.
we're a little
Eric's
loopy.
going back to the goose well more than once
Yeah,
today.
he's going. We're also going to share what other notes we have from media availability today. I'm told that they scrimmaged quite a bit. You know, you won't believe who stood out. And then also we're going to talk about Jamal Murray, who did not sign a signature shoe deal today
Whoa.
with Adidas. Adidas found another point guard, younger and even tinier.
They found another point guard for Jamal just to absolutely eat up in a game this year.
Well, I hope so. And then, of course, there's some other little news and notes that we're going to get to. But let's start today, guys. Nuggets didn't practice yesterday, or if they did, they didn't let anybody know about it. Today they did do media availability. I don't know. I don't have a ton of takeaways. We're going to talk about Bol Bol in a second, but is there a non-Bol Bol takeaway you have from today's media availability, Harrison?
You asked Nikola Jokic who stood out during the scrimmages, and we were talking behind the scenes like, we just got to ask about these scrimmages, who stood out, who's looking good, and the guys Jokic rattled off, Vlatko.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facu Campasso.
Right. Yep.
Or Campatho, depending on where you are in the world. Who else was
That's
it?
a joke that they don't get because that
hasn't
hasn't
aired yet.
You guys will get that joke in about a week.
couple weeks. You're gonna come back to this
hang
episode
on to that
and really
joke.
laugh.
It will be worth it in about a week. Who else did he say stood out?
Mike.
Oh yeah, Michael Porter Jr., who we actually have heard has been crushing it in these scrimmages.
I think what he said was Mike has made some shots.
Yeah. and then he was also asked about Bol. He said he was on Bol's team during the scrimmage. So I'm just imagining this team of Jokic, Bol Bol, Michael Porter Jr., Vlatko, and Facu.
You're
just
dreaming about it.
absolutely running through everybody in these scrimmages today.
I mean, legitimately a squad.
That'd be a decent squad.
That's a decent squad. I'm taking it. What about? So it's funny because we always talk about how Jokic views the way that American media covers sports, and how we obsess over every little thing, and we want to know what these guys are eating and what shoes they wear and this or that, and how ridiculous it is. We got an example. If we swapped places with Jokic, and Jokic is running the DNVR Nuggets podcast, and you asked him like any question about the game, we now know his response would be, I don't know. It was all right.
He could have just like thrown us a little bone. You know who's really looked good? RJ Hampton.
Right,
you guys should keep an eye on him.
He actually did the opposite. He listed a bunch of names and then said, but nothing special.
Special. Very unimpressed Jokic was, it seems, from today's practice.
I did have one takeaway. He was asked about the rookies, the newcomers to Denver, and he did mention that they're helping to keep it fresh and fun. And he said he likes this rookie class, that they're asking questions, they're listening. And I think that's probably the two things you would hope for from these younger guys coming in who won't play. Are you staying coachable? Are you staying out of the way of what these guys who are contending for a title already know how to do? But are you also doing your part in terms of keeping things fresh, keeping practice fun, and just showing up and putting a spark in these guys? So far, so good.
Yeah. We also got a hint from Michael Malone that no big surprise, no breaking news. Marcus Howard, two-way rookie, probably not going to play a lot this season.
Right.
And look, I think this is going to be the case for not just a bunch of rookies on the Nuggets, excluding Facu and Greg Whittington. The Nuggets have like 6 rookies. It's like incredible.
Right.
But just talking about the guys who are coming straight from college, or in RJ Hampton's case, straight from Australia, they're probably not going to play a lot. And that probably goes for most guys, most rookies throughout the league as well. It's just not a season that's lining up for a ton of rookie contributions.
And maybe that's a great thing. I mean, we talked about Vlatko with this, but if he has to step in, that's great. And I wonder if Zeke and RJ, maybe it's early, maybe in a month or something, they're more like it. But it is almost nice that there are these guys that are just like, there's no question they're not in the rotation, right? I mean, the guy that I think we look at and wonder is PJ Composure. Like, we wonder, he's the one guy that I feel like can play that might not. But outside of that, it's a bunch of guys. I just don't. Maybe that's a good thing that you have a little bit more clarity.
It gives you a little more clarity, yeah.
Every time that you mention a guy's name, I'm like, oh, right, he's on the Nuggets. Oh, right, Zeke Naji's on the Nuggets. Oh, right. Yeah. It's the number of new players is it's dizzying, startling.
So we also talked to Bol Bol today, and it was great because have we talked to every player now that Bol Bol has come through? I think we have.
I don't know.
I think we have. I'm going through it in my head, and I'm pretty sure we have now talked to every single player.
We have as well.
Bol Bol was the last one, so it's good. Bol Bol is he's still getting. There wasn't a whole lot. I didn't think of like kernels of information, but the one thing that stands out is he was asked, "What is your goal for the season? What would make a successful season for him?" And his answer was, "I don't know. Maybe winning Rookie of the Year. Can I still win that?" And he goes, "Okay, that'd be a good one." So I think we should say he put the league on notice.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit like a question he hadn't asked himself until that
very moment.
Yeah, so what can I do this year? Oh, I guess I could win Rookie of the Year.
In
theory.
Yeah.
And then the
it's
shock
possible.
waves hit.
Wouldn't put too much stock into it. I did think his initial answer, his real answer, was just to play more.
Yeah.
He just wants to get more burn out there.
Which is that's a low. I think he will.
Yeah,
he played like 20 minutes.
Happen,
so, but I do want to entertain this thought though, because it's a fun one, and because we're still 2 weeks away from the Nuggets actually playing. In fact, today I believe 2 weeks from today, the Nuggets will have a real game, not a scrimmage. There's going to be 3 scrimmages and a bunch of practices.
3
in
days
between
from
there.
today, an actual preseason game.
I know, it's so great.
That
It's
seems
exciting.
like a totally reasonable timeline.
Yeah, I want to watch it here.
I actually
In large part because I don't think I can watch it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's the factor.
But let's entertain this for a moment. the odds are really low, in large part because we're just not sure that Bol Bol is going to get the requisite minutes. But maybe there is a chance that he does, get enough minutes for this. The one thing about this rookie draft class is who is the favorite? I mean, LaMelo Ball, I think, will be a good player, but I don't know that he's going to, it's not like Zion Williamson or some guy that's going to Luka Doncic.
I've got a favorite for you.
Okay, let me hear it.
It's Obi Toppin.
Wow.
Oh,
Really?
my God.
It's Obi Toppin.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Obi Toppin is going to average 18 a game for the Knicks. He's going to start. He's going to play 30 minutes a night, and he's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Unbelievable.
He should be the odds-on favorite.
He might shoot 30%, man.
So?
Yeah, it's still going to get him up to 18, 19.
I gotta say my draft night bet, as informed by Andre Simone, that he would slip past position number 4, or was it 5?
It was 4.5.
It was 4.5, and
it was a lock all the way. It was a DraftKings pick of the week at one point.
I gotta say,
bragging,
Obi already a favorite at D-line. Loving him.
Yeah. But this year, I mean, Anthony Edwards, Wiseman, there are some good players. I'm not trying to discount it, but I do think if we were just looking at it, the Rookie of the Year, I think, of course, this thing could go wrong. The Rookie of the Year bar is lower than average, I would say. So there is a chance that Bol Bol can step into that. Put some odds on this. When by odds, I mean percentages.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, guys, could it be higher than 5%?
Could it be any higher than 5%?
I think it's really low. Now, Bol has higher headroom than 99% of that class.
Feels like a joke.
It's not about his potential. So, we've talked about this draft as a lot of NBA-ready players, but very few guys who can come in and change the trajectory of a franchise. Well, maybe if Bol hits the peak of his powers, he's closer to that. But is the opportunity going to be there? At the end of the day, I think guys like Obi, guys like LaMelo, I mean, maybe even like a Killian Hayes.
Yeah, there's some votes for Killian Hayes in the comments. Patrick Williams, Killian Hayes.
These guys will probably all get more opportunity, and that's the number one factor in that.
Eric, paint me a picture. Oh. I'm going to tell you in the future, Bol Bol wins Rookie of the Year this year. How did it happen? What happened?
How did it happen? Well, I think, probably he starts off dominating second units.
So he starts off in the rotation and playing.
Well, I think that he sneaks in.
I should say realistically. What's a realistic path here?
I think that he probably just gets a minute, a little bit of run here and there, and he just dominates. In the way that we watched him do it in the bubble in the lead up, where you're just that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and I cannot wait to watch that again and again. And at a certain point, a guy like that, his talent, it becomes undeniable. It's just with Bol, he's so unique. I'll use the word.
Good word.
He's definitely unique. Yeah.
He's so unique that he feels like a novelty in a sense. Yeah. And I think that if he starts playing reliably, that novelty label will slip away, and you'll just be like, oh, dude, this guy can just hit shots and block shots from literally 10 feet away. And so he's just gonna have to work his way up, and he's gonna have to show improve. He's not gonna get the runway laid out from a Moutier or something. He's gonna have to earn it.
But that's why I'm asking about this. Oh, go ahead.
Well, Isaiah Hartenstein's gonna play, I think, as the backup 5. So what you're really talking about, does Bol beat out PJ Dozier, Greg Whittington, depending on health, maybe another names in there?
Jermichael Green,
Jermichael Green, yeah,
Paul Millsap.
as a backup 3-4 type deal, and otherwise I just don't know how he gets the opportunity.
The most likely path, I would think, is if there's a big trade, and I don't think it's likely for the Nuggets to make a big trade, but I don't want to rule it out. They've got the assets, they've got the contracts to make a big trade if one comes about, but if there's a trade and say Paul Millsap gets sent out, and then Bol Bol's suddenly the backup power forward, and then he just gets more playing time and gets more experience and gets more comfortable, and then all of a sudden he's playing 20-25 minutes a night. That's the avenue, in my opinion. There's got to be a move or an injury somewhere that clears some space for him.
And to me, that's exactly what it is. An injury. I just imagine if he goes into this camp and he's just outperforming everybody, he has to not just outplay Jermichael Green, Paul Millsap, Isaiah Hartenstein, Greg Whittington, maybe even Will Barton, or all those guys. Yeah. But he has to really outperform them, because if you just play even to those guys, I think there's still a level of, well, these guys have already done it. I know what these guys are like when things get tough. and you keep working. So I think either he really outperforms in training camp, or there's an injury or some type of thing that opens up an opportunity for him, and you never go back. And this happens in the NBA.
Yep.
Guys get in, and sometimes it's the best scenario where it's like you're not worried about losing that spot because somebody got hurt, so you're the only option. So it's like, hey, man, we're riding with you no matter
They
what.
call that getting Wally pipped.
I mean, it's happened in the last 3 years. That's happened to Denver, right? Key injuries have gone down. Other guys have stepped up, and our understanding of this team and their trajectory sort of changes. I will say this with Bol. If he gets even remotely close, statistically, he's got a real chance because he has a sort of SEO hype factor that I don't think any of these guys, except for what LaMelo, even comes close to. So if he's in there, folks are going to want to see him get the award.
Yeah. He said his favorite position to play, or the most comfortable position for him to play,
his
is
favorite.
the 4.
You said it right. Yeah,
power
power forward.
The 4. We've talked about this a lot. I think it would go the 4, the 3, then the 5 probably if I'm slotting him.
That's interesting.
And his rationale, he is a big, but he cited his thin frame. He just thinks it's easier for him at the 4 not to have to bang around with those big guys.
Should be noted that Jokic was asked specifically about Bol, and he said that he looks like he's gotten stronger, or he seems like he's gotten a little bit stronger. He did say that he still needs to learn the rules of basketball, which I feel like that's concerning.
I don't think that's what he meant.
I don't think it is either.
There's an
I think he means he has to learn the game and
Jokic said
nuances.
he's still learning the system. I think he's trying to learn like the Nuggets rules.
The Nuggets rules.
Yeah.
Like,
always pass to Jokic and then cut.
Bounce the ball.
If you don't know what to do, just give it to Jamal. Those
No,
types of
Bol,
rules.
that's their basket. We're going on this basket.
Do you not know the rules? My God.
I think there's a collective
This is the out of bounds line.
assumption that Bol, when we're not seeing him play behind these closed doors here, probably looks a little inconsistent. And Jokic, a little candid today, his voice perked up a little bit. He did play pretty well in practice recently, he said, but then today he kind of trailed off a little bit. So I think there are some elements of like, look, in a training camp setting, like MPJ's hitting everything.
Yeah.
A guy like Bol, I would imagine it's a little more touch and go.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine Michael Porter's just like an elite pickup basketball player. Like that's like his number one zone is pickup.
Might actually be
he's
the GOAT. Like pickup.
He's won more than one pair of shoes while hustling somebody playing pickup.
Oh,
basketball,
right. Yeah.
Not just at NBA 2K.
At NBA 2K. Look, it's not a prop bet I like, but you know what? Bol Bol's a good player. He does have the year advantage because he's been with the team. He played in the bubble.
I'm going to bet it right now.
Boom. Should we just make this the DraftKings pick
I'm
of the
doing
week?
it right now.
Knock
DraftKings
it out
pick?
for this week?
That would be a pretty
All right.
crazy one. But I don't know.
back
I
to
do
it.
like it.
Do
I
it
guess
right now.
of all the rookies on the roster, he has the. Oh, actually, maybe not. Maybe Campasso has a better shot at Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. I mean, he's
yeah.
going to play. Does Campasso have odds on there?
I think he's the early favorite for most spectacular player in the NBA.
We need that award in the NBA.
Well, it should be noted that so much of the Campasso talk has been about his defense, man, and again today that was what Jokic referenced was his defense, and so it's funny. So there was I think I saw it on Reddit or Twitter or somewhere that somebody posted a defensive highlight package of Campasso, and you really get a sense of what type of player he was. Just that really like. He's so short. You know the thing he does that I kind of like? He's so short and low to the ground that when somebody throws the pass that looks like he couldn't get to it, like he's always waiting for that pass and then like
He's
literally runs after it to steal it.
He's
And
really good at baiting the offense into throwing the pass that he wants them to throw. And
Right.
I'm wondering if it's just because the offense can't see him.
He's off the board. Is he off the board?
Bol Bol not on the
If
board.
he's just too short for the offense to even
pocket
see
passes
him.
right into his mouth
They
by
think it's a
accident.
wide open lane. They don't even see Campasso.
What the H? Apparently, Bol Bol putting DraftKings on notice. He's going to be
never
rookie of the
mind
year.
on
He's
that
not, he's
pick
not
of
even
the
on
week.
here. Unbelievable. Oh, no, he is. He is.
What is the line? What is
Hold
it?
on, hold on. Let me preface it. Every week we do a DraftKings pick of the week. My DraftKings pick of the week this week is Bol Bol
You don't even know the odds, and he's making this pick. I don't
plus
know.
2,500 for Rookie of the Year.
Oh, wow, I
Only
like
on
it.
DraftKings Sportsbook.
You know what? Why not? Throw $10 down on that. You know, let's get rich.
Great find.
Listen to how eager is Adam to spend my money. That's unbelievable.
It's true. Why not?
Why not throw 100? Like,
Yeah,
that's,
throw 100. Do you like? So if I told you like outcomes, would you rather have a Jokic MVP season, a Jokic MVP season?
that was terrifying.
Yeah.
Just-
I short circuited for a second.
Lead basketball analyst at DNVR.
Would you rather a Jokic MVP season or a Bol Bol Rookie of the Year season?
Jokic MVP season.
Yeah.
Jokic is going to be. It's not like Jokic is going to be bad. So would you rather have Jokic be the third? I mean, like What do you think he's going to get?
No, this is like, I mean, media hat, fan hat. Like, we're all Jokic stands. Come on. Like, you let Jokic win an MVP. That rules. And that's just what I want to see.
It does rule.
It would be crazy. I see your point, Adam, though. I see
If
what
Bol
you're
Bol's
saying.
Rookie of the Year, I feel like the season went great. Or
Right.
terrible, but probably great.
If
Or
he's
terribly.
Rookie of the Year, man, yeah, they better make a trade to move a couple of those guys out so Bol Bol can, like, play 30 minutes.
It'd be so funny if we're all sitting here hyped for the MPJ year 2 and Bol Bol's just like the new shiny toy. And we're like, can MPJ be the 4th best guy on the championship team?
Yeah.
Why not?
It's even just like comparing MPJ and Ball. I know I do this a lot, but thinking back to the start of last year, MPJ just even had such a clearer path to minutes last season at the start than Bol does this year. And that's just the thing I can't get around.
Right.
Which is funny because like all we did was complain about that he wasn't getting minutes. So
Right. But
like,
we
what
were
does that mean for
complaining the whole
Bol?
time, but he actually was playing. You know,
Right.
It's not like he was getting 0
Yeah,
minutes.
he was just getting yanked too quickly.
Right. They weren't DNPs.
All right, let's hit a super producer Gail. If you have some music you could hit there, let's hit a break. And on the other side, we have to talk about our guy Jamal Murray. I thought he earned the fame. I thought he earned the fortune, but it turns out Trae Young and his 9 wins last season is the what Adidas is putting their money on. So we're going to talk about that.
Did they only win 9 games? Actually?
I think they won more than 9, but
Maybe
we're
like
gonna-
6.
They beat Denver by like a lot.
Blessed bet. Blessed bet. It's in. It's locked in.
How
Bol
much?
Bol put us all on notice.
How much? How much?
And lady never tells. I put in $10, and I'm going to win $260.
$260,
Yeah,
man.
that's what you can get on
freaking low.
DraftKings, guys. Hit that up.
Why not? Why not? You know?
Why not?
Yeah. I noticed you didn't do it, so you tell me why
That's a
not. I'm
terrible
literally
bet.
the
It's
only
like a
one that's done
horrible
it, so
bet.
why are you asking me?
Because I need my $10. I have children. 2 of them.
Oh man, you guys make sure to pick up some of the Juice Drop, the Hazy IPA, the latest and greatest from Breck Brew,
I want it.
the
In my
official
life.
beer here at
I know this
DNVR.
one does sound great.
I haven't had the
Super
chance
producer
to try
Kale
it,
is
but
raving about it.
everybody who has tried it here at the company is raving about it. It's everybody's new favorite beer here at DNVR, which is always a big deal when somebody anoints a new beer their favorite beer. Also at Breck Brew, they've still got that ice skating rink set up at the farmhouse. They've still got that tubing hill. Parents, if you're looking for something to do this weekend with the kids, it's a great option. Only $3 to skate with your own skates or $6 for a skate rental. They also have that tubing hill that's free, so check that out as well. Also, registration is underway for the spring semester at MSU Denver online.
Oh,
I feel like you guys are going to laugh at me when I do this.
he rarely gets this tickled. Look at him.
MSU Denver Online, guys. It's an awesome option for every type of student. If you're working a full-time job on the side and still want to take classes, MSU Denver Online is your place. They're super accommodating with that type of stuff. Their teachers are awesome. They've been teaching online forever, so they know how to get information across to you in a really engaging manner online. So check out their entire course list, msudenver.edu/online. It's a great option. It's affordable, too. College is like a huge ripoff these days. We all know
It's
that.
just a scam.
I'm just going to say
absolute
it's
scam.
an absolute ripoff these days. MSU Denver Online, you get a lot of bang for your buck. You get a great education, and it's a great school, great teachers. Check it out today.
All right, guys. So if you didn't see in the news, Adidas, and I'm sure this has been in the works for a while, they've already got Donovan Mitchell.
Adidas.
So they've got Damian Lillard.
Right.
They've got Donovan Mitchell. They got the point guards. They got Jamal Murray, although not a signature guy, just a regular guy. And now they got Trae Young. They decided to make Trae Young a signature shoe guy. And I'm kind of surprised by this for a couple of things. Atlanta, first of all, not the biggest market. They're also terrible.
Right.
Until proven otherwise. He is a very exciting player, and he's got the little guy factor. You know, everybody likes the little guy that's running
Stan the
around.
Tiny King.
Yeah, they all stand the Tiny Kings. But I was certain after 2 50-point games, after the Game 7 Jamal Murray had against the Clippers, I just thought, man, he has to be moving up the power rank. I didn't think he was going to get a signature shoe, but I just thought if you looked at the Adidas assets, he jumped a bunch of people. Maybe I'm wrong by that. They decided to go with another direction. First off, before we get salty on this, is this a good move? Like Trae Young, he has a lot of marketability.
Trae Young's a signature-esque guy. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the timing of it, maybe you have some questions. Who it comes over, I think the four of us have questions. But yeah, I mean, Trae Young is going to be that dude in this league.
Yeah.
There are guys who score 30, and there are guys who score 30 in a manner that make kids say, I want to go outside and play basketball tonight. and I think Trae Young's the latter. So putting him in that category doesn't bother me, as I'm sure we'll get to why it does, though.
I mean, like, it's a similar reason why Steph Curry was so popular with like middle schoolers and high schoolers. Like right when Steph Curry was making his ascension, like 2016, 2017, I was coaching a 7th grade team, and it was just all about Steph Curry all the time. I want to wear Steph's shoes. I want to dress like Steph. I want to play. I want to shoot like Steph. Trae Young, he's relatable to people because he's small. He just looks like an average dude. Like, he's tiny, he's skinny. And I think he's got a little bit of that Curry appeal. He's really relatable for kids as well. So I'm with you, Vogt. I'm not like, I don't think it's a terrible move by Adidas for anything. I get it. And I also think that they can look at it and say, oh, the Hawks are probably going to be actually like a watchable, or not watchable, but a legitimate basketball team this year. They've got
they'll
talent.
be watchable.
They're probably going to make the playoffs. They're going to have just a lot more notoriety team-wide than they've had in the past. So I could see that being reasoning as well.
My thing is, like, we don't know that he's not going to get a shoe, Jamal.
Right.
They just announced the Trae Young one today. That doesn't mean that they're done making shoes. It's all over
D-line. This is not your role on the show.
Well, we can't say Trae Young got an Adidas shoe before Jamal Murray got an Adidas.
We can absolutely say that. Well, Trae Young also became an All-Star before Jamal Murray.
In the East. Big caveat.
Well, all the same. I mean, so
he averaged a ton of points and a ton of assists.
Jamal Murray would have been an All-Star in the East by now.
Jamal Murray, well, I don't know, because Jamal Murray hasn't really like been consistent in the regular season.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's
there's also a lesson in here, and like we've talked about this a lot, and it applies a little bit to MPJ. Trae Young hasn't won almost any games in his career, like literally any games.
Beat the Nuggets.
And yet he put up some massive numbers, and here he has a nice shoe deal. And like, this is why when people talk about Michael Porter and we're like, yeah, but if he like just buys into the system, like the Nuggets could win and winning trumps everything. It's like, not really. Sometimes in the NBA, when it comes to the money, when it comes to the notoriety, when it comes to the invites to all of to be in the club, so to speak, it often is about like, well, no, this guy was an all-star. This guy put up the numbers. This guy did this and that. And I think that, to me, look, Trae Young's a good player. I actually think I'm not one of these guys that likes to just bash on him. I'm not blaming him for the reason that the Hawks aren't good. He certainly came in and lit up Jamal Murray. So if you had to if Adidas was in the house for that game where Trae Young was just like, what did he do?
He went to the bench. He shushed Denver's bench for his own building.
He stunted all over all of Denver.
He was 5'11", too.
I felt personally stunted upon him.
Honestly, if it weren't for that game, because this is faux outrage, I don't really care. I mean, I would love for Jamal Murray, because another part of me, if this is Atlanta, so it's another small market, because there's a part of me that would go like, well, I'm really worried that Jamal Murray just will never be big enough in Denver, but he deserves it or this or that. But that's not it, because it's Atlanta. Like, Atlanta's also not in this market. But I will say I would be more upset about this if Trae Young didn't just completely and utterly dominate Jamal the one time that time.
Well, also Jamal has like a bit of a Googling problem currently. If you,
our commenters made that point, and you might not be wrong. They might just be waiting a little bit longer.
There's no way. There's no way. I mean, maybe.
Waiting for the dust to settle.
So let's do. I'm curious, Eric. You. This might be a good question for you to lead us off on, but power rank the current Denver Nuggets players on most marketable. And this is, I want this to be both for now and going forward. Like, I'll combine this in the next 4 years.
Okay. Most marketable on the Denver Nuggets, as awarded by D-Line in this segment, is number 1, Michael Porter Jr.
Wow. Hold on. Can I push back on this?
I don't know. You tell me.
If you want to be wrong.
Well, no, I do want to push. I want to push back on it. His Q score is not that high, actually. Because people don't. No, I'm serious. People don't like. He has some controversial statements on Snapchat. He's got, he's got. Michael Porter right now. If you just ask like the diehard, the person that's on Twitter, because like Twitter's for the diehard fan. If you ask the person on Twitter what they think, not a Nuggets fan, they'd probably be like, I don't know, he's a little bit of a Kyrie.
But they're not selling shoes to people on Twitter.
No,
they're selling shoes to Joe Schmo who turns on a Nuggets game on a Tuesday night.
All right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you work through that part of it.
We'll get the Air Vax ones.
Just wanted to help you get there.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
I'm with you. That was good. I think it's MPJ. I think it's MPJ clearly.
MPJ number 1. Number 2, Jamal Murray.
This is right,
I think
too.
it's right.
I think this is right.
Number 3
Oh, this is interesting here. It gets really interesting.
Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is marketable. The world, not necessarily here in the United States, but that's not the only place to buy sneakers.
I just don't know if he is, man. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that I love him, and I think fans can appreciate him. There's a couple things being at play here. One, the foreigner. Like, let's be honest. You're trying to sell to America. You know, you're trying to sell to the globe, but primarily you're trying to sell to the most consumer-driven country in the world, which is America. And bigs just don't sell. I mean, even Shaq and Chuck in their heydays, like, they couldn't move shoes.
Yeah. No, it's true. But I just think that the like if they made a shoe and offered it in Serbia, don't you feel like every person would buy it?
I don't know. Actually, Serbia, let us know. Like,
maybe
if there was the Air
if
Jokers, would you be like?
I mean, I would
for
buy them.
$120 bucks.
Buy them. But then also, okay.
I think there are 2 names ahead of Jokic on this.
All right, so probably R.J. Hampton. Is that what you're thinking?
He's up there, but I think you're glossing over one.
Yeah, we are glossing over one.
The Bol X2.
Yeah, look, he's a big, like Adam said, but Bol is like of this new generation of players who was famous before he started playing in college.
Yeah.
And like, but when we put Bol in the title of our YouTube videos,
we're
playing the hits, baby. Like, people are in. So I think he's marketable.
I happen to agree with Vogt. I would put R.J. Hampton third, though, in part because if you're talking about selling shoes, you want this is the dumb thing about Michael Jordan is like, oh man, Air Jordans, like, look how high you jump. They don't. They're just like Jordan jumps high and runs fast.
They're actually like pretty heavy.
They're actually not that great.
I would jump much less high than when I'm wearing.
But this
Jordans.
with R.J. Hampton, like if R.J. Hampton like busts out a signature line, if he gets, because who did he go? Didn't he sign with somebody? Is he with Puma or
He's
one
a
of these?
Puma guy, I believe.
So he gets some Puma, and they're like bright
Pumaman.
neon, yellow or something like that, like Usain Bolt. And he's running up and down the court all fast. Like, just your mind subconsciously goes like, man, those shoes look fast.
I am trying to cut 0.10 off my 40
exactly.
time.
But my thing is that, like if Nikola Jokic spends a second season in a solidified top 10 role in the NBA, then people like the issue with Jokic is that like you just have to do a slow heat up with everyone. Everyone's like, man, look at this slow lunky, like he's ugly, his game is ugly, whatever. And then like people watch him more and more, they're like, oh.
Yeah.
And like I feel like the general casual is like really starting to come around to Nikola Jokic. So
There's another dynamic in marketing though here that we're missing, and that's that it's a two-way street. Jokic doesn't.
Yeah,
want
he
you to
doesn't
market
want it.
him.
Yeah.
And so,
that's old Jokic. That's old Jokic. New Jokic has custom
That's
shoes
true.
with his
He does
own
have some
logo
style. You're
on
some new
his-
shoes.
this
a
might-
bomber jacket.
Actually, can we pull on
Where's
this
the
thread for a
conspiracy?
minute?
Yes.
Is there? So we do talk about like you get your money and all of a sudden things change a little bit. I don't mean, oh wow!
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to put the hat on.
Look, we know Jokic got the new. Is it a Mercedes or so? He got a nice car.
got it,
And
yeah.
look, none of the people. I'm not
Mercedes
critiquing
SUV.
Jokic. Like Jokic deserves all these things, man.
Frankly, at a certain
Frankly,
point,
encouraging Jokic.
it's like Goodwill Hunting. At a certain point, it's like Jokic. If you're still here without a
Right.
nice car, don't take this the wrong way. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Buy a nice car. Like
So he got the, but I'm being serious. Like if you would have told me 2-3 years ago, like was Jokic going to buy a nice car when he gets his first check, I'd have been like, I don't know. He might get like a big Yukon with lots of room, but I'd
Forerunner.
soup it up.
Yeah,
but I don't know that he's going to buy a very
dually.
specific because he got the Brabus, right? The like very. I'm probably saying this wrong, faux words again, but he got like a very specific custom type of.
yeah. No, he got.
It's like,
he got a.
It looks like a Mercedes truck that like could have been in World War II.
It's possible. It's possible. No, he got a
Dipped in
real
silver and
nice
black.
one. Apparently, it's a Porsche.
According to Connor.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's just- but then we saw him during the hiatus when he went to see Dayon, his old coach. Super custom
I'm telling
looking
you.
blazer, looking a little like, oh, did he get a tailor?
Skinny jeans.
Now we got shoes, like I'm saying, like there's a little. It does feel like new Jokic.
I'm saying, we've turned over a new leaf, and under that new leaf, skinny jeans.
It is funny how he maybe turned over the new leaf in like a pandemic because I don't know about you guys, but I just dressed way down.
Yeah,
in
oh,
a
went the
pandemic.
hard other direction.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's funny that he's pivoted
That
the
is
opposite
amazing.
way.
Yeah, like we traded places. It was like trading. Like I wear way more sweatpants.
Of all
than
the
I ever did.
people to seize the
Yeah,
quarantine, it was
maybe he
Nikola
just saw
Jokic.
a gap in the marketplace and just seized it.
He's got to get back on Twitter though, for real.
But
I'm
telling you, this is part of my whole thought about Jokic when we're talking about him and how I don't think he's going to gain the weight, because I do feel like there's this new like look good, feel good, or feel good, look good, play good Jokic, where it's like not only has he embraced, in my opinion, again I'm projecting a lot onto him here. This is just
we don't do that here.
No, but I'm just saying this is my opinion. I'm not trying to tell people this what's happening, but it does seem like he takes a lot of pride in the fact that he could be the MVP of the NBA. He's that good. I think he takes that competitiveness, but I also wonder if he's just like, you know what I kind of like? Being rich and famous. It's actually way better than I thought it was going to be.
Dipped a toe in the water.
I don't think he wants to be famous, as in that's why he doesn't have social. But I'm just saying, like,
you know what
like
I
he's
just thought
enjoying.
about though? Like if Bol Bol had shoes and you just had Bol on one and Bol on the other, and you put them together.
And they're the Bol Bols.
Holy shnikes! We got to get this going.
I don't know if there's anybody else that's even on the board. There's those 5 guys. Is there anybody else? Campasso?
Possibly.
Campasso
are big on the marketability of
Campasso, I'll tell you the shoe Campasso wears. He wears the Adidas, like the starter kit Adidas's. Like the Adidas Pro models, that's definitely what Campasso wears.
There could be
Dude,
like
those shoes ruined my feet. Those shoes honestly like took a couple of years off of my basketball
The
life.
3 stripes where you can just insert the new color.
Yeah.
there could be like a custom like espresso machine Campasso deal by the end of
Oh, I bet you he gives great coffee advice.
I'm sure
I'd
he
let
does.
him order for me.
Nespresso, get at us. Let's go.
the Faku, come on DNBA show.
Faku, let's do this, my man.
Kata,
other
you'll
than
have to
that,
wait, brother.
Yeah, there's literally nobody. There's no other entrance.
Who would you like? So forget the masses.
Okay.
But who would you, if they like were trying to sell you? Let's just make a product up here. Let's say a car. It's a car. Somebody's
Okay.
trying to tell you about this great car. Who would most persuade you, Eric?
Well, I would say that Jokic has been in the most local commercials. So
That's true.
Western Union,
Big
apparently,
Western Union guy.
Western Union apparently believes that Jokic is the key to their success. Anything Jokic does makes me giggle and it makes me charmed inside, and I feel warm inside. So, you know, I'll buy a Porsche because he did. That's how it's gonna work.
$1 million car. Like, wow, Eric. It's like I just saw Jokic.
Jokic did it. I just like
so impressionable over here. What about you?
Oh, what's the question?
Who would most influence you
Oh.
to make a purchase because they endorsed it?
Well, as you know, I'm entering the father phase of my lifetime. So Paul Millsap. I would need some.
He's got a dog, guys.
Like,
He's got a dog.
like Paul.
Dad.
Can you
brand.
help me? Like,
Mid-20s
which
thing where
car-
they act like their parents because they have kids. It's
Paul, which
insulting
car
to
would
real
you
parents.
finance? You know,
He's like,
how much monthly?
That's
were
true.
like-
He does like endorse a credit card that's
Yeah,
very
if Brandon comes in and starts talking about how safe the car he just bought is, he's like,
Side airbags.
he's like,
got
guys,
a
just
Chrysler."
got a Volvo. Just got a Volvo.
The whole family, comfortable and safe.
And what I like is the 5-star crash rating.
Which is too real because shout out 5-star crash ratings saved my life about a year ago.
All right.
Yeah.
Harrison?
There's something about Monte Morris and his love for the city of Denver. Like, I don't think this is selling anything, but Monte Morris needs to be leading the like St. Patrick's Day parade in Denver
Holy
back when we have
shnikes.
parades again. Just he needs to be at the front.
We just kind of like agree with this terrible take.
I would
He
prefer he
needs to
leads
be-
the championship parade.
It's a horrible take. Okay.
He just needs to be like the Denver rep from this Nuggets team. He's just Mr. Nugget.
Oh,
He's
man.
Mr. Denver.
If he was endorsing a restaurant, immediately I'm going. I'm like, man, he
Yeah,
said
yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
I'm
Or
going
like
to
a
check it out.
CBD brand.
He should just run for mayor.
Can we get him to endorse the DNVR par? We should try. We should look it up. Closed at the moment. All right, let's take our last break. We gotta keep moving on because we have our Marcus Howard show that's up in about 20 minutes. So we got to wrap up before that. But let's take one more break. On the
up
other
against
side, we do have a
ourselves.
couple little notes to get to. Little nuggets of notes.
Let's see. Oh, we've been devouring this in the bar today while filming these
Honking
preview
like a goose.
series. Strava Craft Coffee.
crushing.
It'll have you.
honking like a goose.
It will have you honking like a
When
goose.
Brendan's
sound
when
We
Brendan's,
don't know what that means. It could mean something good. It could mean something bad. We don't know.
when Brendan's brother said that, we were all perplexed. We were like, "What does that mean?" And then today, I had a big old cup of Strava without any food, and I was like, "There it is."
I think we know
I
what
am
it is
honking
now.
like a
I
goose.
think-
Feel
I
it.
think we know
There
what
it is.
honking
and
like a
if
goose
you're
is.
still not sure what we're talking about, you got to find out for yourself.
Yeah.
Purchase
Yeah.
some Strava Craft
The way
coffee.
apparently, when geese honk, they feel like unnaturally relaxed.
Their IBS is a little better.
Yeah, I would say.
Well, Strava Craft Coffee actually can help with IBS, funny enough. It's packed with CBD. You guys can get 20% off a Strava Craft Coffee subscription with the code DNVR20. StravaCraftCoffee.com. We get people on Twitter all the time that hit us up and say, well, I've switched to Strava Craft Coffee. It's awesome. I'm never going back to regular coffee. Make the switch today. Get 20% off Strava Craft Coffee, a subscription from Strava Craft Coffee. Also, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is wishing you the happiest of holidays. And to kick off the season of giving, DraftKings has new promotions and odds boosts every single day.
Yo, you got to pay attention. They gave $25 free if Lamar Jackson completed one pass.
They give $25 or $5 if a Broncos quarterback just completed a pass.
Yeah, so over the period of like 3 days, they just gave you $30 free if you're paying attention.
The second one, though,
$25. Yeah,
not as much of a lock.
Oh, for Lamar Jackson? The Broncos? What a jerk.
Yeah.
Boo.
There is no better place to get in on all the action than with DraftKings Sportsbook. Head to the App Store now because you don't want to miss this. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving all new players the chance to earn a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 when signing up using the promo code DNVR. Very important. You have to use the code DNVR. Also, to celebrate this weekend's UFC 256, DraftKings is giving all MMA fans who sign up now the chance to triple their winnings when placing any bet on UFC 256. So make sure to download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code DNVR when you sign up to get up to $1,000. That's code DNVR to get a deposit bonus up to $1,000 for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus. Deposit bonus requires a 25x playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Final segment here, guys. And so we talked about Trae Young. We talked about Jamal Murray. I did forget that ESPN is doing their ranking right now. And it should be noted, Jamal Murray, 21st. Trae Young significantly behind that, I think 29th. Well, I guess not significantly. But Jamal Murray, 21st. So we got Michael Porter, 51st. We got Jamal Murray, 21st. This is the first time ever I've been like, wow, these feel kind of high.
Doesn't it feel obnoxious though that we can't literally say we have a top 50 and a top 20 player? We have to.
Oh, that is true.
We're one away from three top 50 players.
You're right. That is a little bit obnoxious. Jokic clearly in the top 10 since
he'll probably be
the top 11. No, 11's already out.
Oh.
So the top 10 will be out, I guess, tomorrow. Maybe one. I don't know how they'll do it. But 21.
I think it's high for career Jamal Murray, but I think it's low for bubble Jamal Murray.
Totally.
So in a way, about where I would I expected. A couple names ahead of him there that I think, Donovan Mitchell's ahead of him. And Murray just had that better bubble.
Wow.
Although it's also worth noting that Mitchell's been a far more consistent and better regular season player for most of his career.
Also, I don't know that. I mean, Jamal, was he better? I
agree with you.
I give him a tie.
He was also
they were about as
team.
even as you could have possibly been.
And if somebody from Utah was like, no way, Donovan was better, I just wouldn't. It wouldn't upset me. I'd be like, man, they were both so good.
But there are some names he's ahead of that I think Nuggets fans would love to see. Like one really notable one, Bradley Beal.
I know that was really interesting.
Possible jewel of the trade deadline.
22.
Wow. And ESPN already ranks Jamal Murray higher. And as we know, bubble Jamal Murray maybe a little bit redundant alongside of Bradley Beal. So I don't know, just some fun developments in that list.
Man, I'm just thinking about where Jokic is going to be. I have an outstanding $20 bet with Kale that I'm feeling worse and worse about by the minute.
Kale's looking pretty confident about it.
What is it?
I bet Kale that Nikola Jokic would be rated higher than Luka Doncic.
Why'd you bet that?
Because he's a better player than Luka Doncic.
Oh, that's actually that's pretty good rationale, actually.
But ESPN is not going to feel that way.
Yeah.
Projecting Luka Doncic this season, they're gonna.
I mean, he's like the odds-on favorite for MVP. So, yeah, I'm not feeling great about that. But we were talking about it earlier. I think Jokic could come in at, probably 9 at the highest.
Yeah.
You think?
It's going to be 9 or 10.
At the highest? You mean at the worst, right?
No, we mean the highest.
At the highest.
The best.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
KD and AD are going to come in ahead of Jokic.
I mean, we can just rank them. Kevin Durant, Giannis, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, James Harden. I don't know about Steph Curry. Maybe
he'll be
Kawhi Leonard.
Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard. That's 7 right there. You get Luka Doncic. That's 8.
So yeah,
8,
maybe.
9-ish.
He might be ahead of 1 or 2 of those guys, man.
I feel like he's gonna be number 1. I don't care. Whatever. I don't give a.
Here's the thing about Jamal, and it's the same thing about Michael Porter, is where they are entering, whatever you think that is, they have a lot of room to fall or to climb, to me. Like Jamal Murray, on average through the regular season last year was not a top 21. He probably was 35, 38, somewhere in there. In the bubble, there's like 10 guys I would have rather had over him, and like Paul George ahead of him. No way I would rather have Paul George in a playoff series. Are you kidding me?
Well, you want to have Paul George when the chips are down in the fourth quarter of a game that matters. That's that much we know.
But that being said, if Jamal Murray, I wonder if there's almost pressure coming into him right now in the season because people are expecting him to be the 21st best player.
And I really hope he doesn't. There's none of that.
Oh, like he has to feel like he needs to be
It's just the last thing he needs to, like, whatever. You guys are already winning a ton of games. This, as you were, like, this team has other stuff to figure out than are you that guy again? Like, I don't know. And I think when the playoffs start, he's going to be good. So I hope he doesn't feel the pressure to prove anything to anyone.
Jokic accomplished this, and I wonder if a whole team can accomplish it. But Jokic accomplished it where his numbers are great when you, like, they're great. The advanced numbers, the, like, 18, 10, and 7, like, those are great numbers, but they don't pop like all-star numbers because all-star numbers are points, right? And so I wonder but what happens is you get into the playoffs, then Jokic just murders everyone. And I wonder if Jamal, this is what he did this year. It's a little bit what he did last year, where he had a good regular season and a great in the playoffs. And I wonder if he could be, what, do you have a great comment here?
Adam's saying player rankings don't matter, then getting fired up about player rankings is my favorite.
You should see the prep shows for these shows.
It's incredible. But I wonder, like, honestly, I wonder if Jamal can continue on this thing where it's like he doesn't, I don't want to say he doesn't care about that in the regular season, but it doesn't ever feel like in the regular season Jamal's gunning for points.
Trying to make an all-star team.
Then you get and then your back gets against the wall in a playoff game and he goes for 50, and like almost all of those are in a row.
That's why this, and I even heard Michael Malone say it today, honestly, that we need Jamal to be the guy he was in the playoffs in the regular season for him to take that next leap. And am I crazy, or do I just, like, not need to see that?
I'm with you, dude.
Like, we saw Jamal do it in the playoffs. Yeah, he's got to be consistent in the regular season, but I'm holding out all judgment and, like, I'm not going to tie a bow on Jamal Murray's season until we see what he does in the playoffs.
So
That's what matters, man.
It's just like Jokic every year. We're like, man, he's only 2 shots. Does he even want to play anymore? And then it's like the playoffs come, you're like,
I mean, we're trying to figure out if these guys are 82 or 16 game players. Jamal Murray was just a 99th percentile guy in a 16 game scenario.
Yeah.
And now it's like, but can he do it?
Like, I guarantee you there are going to be times when people are like, oh, Jamal, he's not being consistent. Has he really taken that leap? Yeah. I'm like, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
Wake me up when the playoffs start. Like, we've seen what he can do.
Dude, isn't it amazing? We're as a fan base, we're already like, oh man, can we just get this lousy
season? No. I like the regular season.
Time for the playoffs.
I like the regular season. It's just fun. But you are right about the meaning of it. Yeah, for sure. A couple other quick news notes here, guys. We're a little late to this one. This is a story that came out several days ago, but Chris Haynes was reporting, and now the memo's been released. Teams could be fined. We talked about this for resting players on national televised games.
I don't think we've talked about it.
Yeah, we haven't talked about this. So this is kind of a big deal. Like, the NBA, it's so clear that they are concerned about their ratings, about their sponsorship money, their television partner money. And they're putting out saying, like, if you rest a guy, like, what this is basically saying is you better really come with a great excuse if your guy's not playing. Don't give us this, like,
load management.
There better be like a real injury or something, or a convincing enough story. They're going to fine teams if they rest during national televised games. First of all, I'm just going to ask you, Harrison, how do you think this is going to go?
Well, this is a weird year to implement this rule when
it's a weird year. But it might be necessary. 72 games and their TV partners are like, yo, every game matters to us.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't think anything's going to change in terms of resting players. I think teams will still rest players. If the league tries to fine them, they'll eat the fine. I don't think teams are going to really care. And if they need to come up with an injury excuse, they'll come up with one. I don't think it's going to change much.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot, like, structurally speaking, of when the NBA said they were really going to cut down on that pump fake and then jump into the guy foul. Like, we're going to talk about it for a couple of weeks, and then it will not come up once in the regular season.
We're going to fine people for flopping. Yes, we're going to fine, like, 2 people and then totally forget we made that rule.
I think
I know. It's so true.
Remember when they fined people?
Yes.
But I don't think you can do both. Like, you're right, Adam, that they're feeling pressure from, like, both of these sides, but you can't say, like, let's wrap this sucker up before the Olympics start, but everyone has to play. Like, I don't think you could do both.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is also part of this is when we talk about, player empowerment, when we talk about resting players. This is started, by the way, with Popovich. If you remember, Popovich was the first one to be doing this, and it's you can rest because people will say, well, these players, their health is more important. I say absolutely. But the call, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And if you want, especially in this moment where the media partners have hemorrhaged money, the league has hemorrhaged money, you can't now go to the table and say, well, we deserve the right to rest. It's like, yes, no, because people are paying you to play. Your media partners are paying your contract. And you have to make the decision now about whether or not that's important. I think the NBA, I disagree with you, Harrison. I think this will be a storyline this year. And I
don't think it will.
I'm interested to see who the first team is that's going to test this out.
I do have one more point, too, which is I've never really bought into this idea that there is a load management problem in the NBA. Kawhi does it because he's Kawhi, whether that's the degenerative muscle issue or just the power he has within org. Or just and Pop used to do it a lot. But Giannis, that's a guy who guns for MVP. Harden, that's a guy who guns for MVP. LeBron just 3 years ago in like his 12th year or whatever played all 82 games.
Right.
I mean, the stars play hard in this league. I don't really think it's an issue.
Here's the other thing. It's not like the Clippers are deciding when Kawhi Leonard is going to rest. Kawhi Leonard is deciding when he's going to rest. Right?
Right. Yeah.
So, like, what authority do the Clippers have over him? And this is how messed up a lot of the league is, honestly. But what authority do the Clippers have over Kawhi Leonard to say, you have to play or else the league is going to fine us for you resting?
He's like,
okay, not my problem.
You eat that fine. That was part of the deal, right?
So,
he's like, oh, that sucks. Sorry, Steve Ballmer, one of the richest men in the country.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Kelly, you could start that outro music. I did see somebody, Scott Carpenter, asked if we...
just gonna bring that
up.
Up.
Strava, like we've been drinking it. We've been honking like a goose
honking
this whole
like
show.
geese the whole show.
You're not paying attention.
I think he might be sarcastic because we've been actually talking about it.
Oh, I was going to say, okay. But I wanted to close here because LeBron talked about the Clippers collapse or the Nuggets victory last season. And look, you could tell he was just trying to go in on the Clippers by acting. Yeah. He was doing the like polite thing, I was surprised.
Now the better team won, except for the part where the other team that was better lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he was trying to clown the Clippers, I think, subtly by make it seem like he wasn't. But he did have one interesting note in there, in my opinion. And it wasn't that he thought the Nuggets were the better team, because I don't think he actually thought that based on how he said everything.
Did not seem that way.
But he did talk about Michael Malone and how it's one of his favorite coaches around the NBA. Not like, oh, I like that dude or this or that, but he said one of my favorite coaches or one of my favorite guys around the NBA, and we've seen the two interact in the hallways and stuff. Like, it does seem like there's genuine affection between those guys. What do you make of that? I'll start. Actually, I want to Eric. He's the Malone whisperer.
I was totally not listening. No.
All right, I'll go. I think it's real. I think it's real, having seen those guys interact, and I think you just hit on it too. There's sort of like a way you can give a nod to someone, and then there's a real compliment.
Right.
And I think LeBron gave the latter. His formative years in Cleveland, of course, Malone was there. But it just speaks to, I think, Malone's biggest strength as a coach. For a guy of his age, I think he relates to players in a way very, very few coaches do. I think he's well-liked and well-respected in this league, comes from an NBA family, took the traditional pay-my-dues routes to getting his coaching job. So I just think there's no one who's like part of the NBA fabric that could look at Malone and feel anything but respect.
Yeah.
The thing about Malone that is just undeniable is that he's just so genuine.
Yeah.
When he speaks, you're like, that's what he really thinks.
Yeah, he is himself.
You're never
he doesn't bullshit you.
Yeah,
I think
like,
LeBron respects that.
Yeah, you're
I
like,
agree.
what? There's certain coaches when they talk, like you feel like maybe there's something underneath. There's an undercurrent. We're never like, man, was Malone subtweeting Jokic in that presser? It's like, no, he just like what he says he means, and he's a genuine guy, and he shoots you straight. So I think that players really respond to that.
Yeah, I think it's legit. We've heard this before. Malone speaks LeBron's praise. LeBron speaks Malone's praise right back. I mean, it's a mutual admiration society between those two. And it's kind of exclusive company a little bit to be in LeBron's like crew, I feel like. It's like Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, and Michael Malone.
And a bottle of vino, yeah.
Yeah. But I really think there's something to the fact of Michael Malone just is authentic. He tells you like it is. This is the same reason why DeMarcus Cousins
great point.
bonded with Malone, and Malone's the only coach that like DeMarcus Cousins has ever said he likes.
Yep.
It's just because he kept it real.
And then Sacramento fired him.
Yeah. He didn't bullshit. He just kept it 100, and I mean that's a reason why the young core of this team likes Malone in Denver.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it for today, guys. But stay tuned in 3 minutes, right here on the DNVR the DNVR YouTube channel. our series or season preview, the next step preview
next step,
of
baby.
Marcus Howard. And it features, I'm going to tell you, 15 minutes of the list. If you're a fan of the list, the deep dive film study.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. And I'm telling you, if you don't know, most of you don't know about Marcus Howard. I'm going to tell you right now, his highlights are fun, and I show a lot of them.
15 minutes worth.
It'll be really good. So stay tuned. You're going to want to go, refresh. Don't forget, hit the like button here
Give us
and
a
leave
like.
the subscribe.
Stop being so stingy. 38 likes.
38
What the
likes?
H?
What the hell is this? But everybody else, we're going to see you tomorrow. Can't wait.
Appreciate y'all.